Versus Masvidal 2 took place Saturday, April 24th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida. In a blockbuster welterweight rematch, we will see a highly anticipated rematch between Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Quick note, guys, UFC 261 will mark the first UFC event with fans at full capacity since UFC 248 in March 2020. And tonight's gate was 3.3 million and there were 15,269 in attendance. Let's talk Usman versus Masvidal. The number 4 ranked welterweight contender, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, 35-14, fighting out of Miami, Florida, aims to even the score with Usman and capture the UFC welterweight championship. Masvidal, the bare-knuckle backyard brawler, is a true veteran of the sport and one of the most well-rounded fighters on the UFC roster. He took the last fight on short notice and looks to get his revenge with a full training camp under his belt tonight. The American Top Team product brings in a very well-balanced all-around attack. He is very powerful and explosive with knockout power when he connects. Masvidal is a crafty veteran and always comes in with a solid fight plan and looks to take home UFC gold tonight. But on the other side of the octagon, you have the UFC welterweight champion, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman, 18-1, fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida by the way of Nigeria, and has his sights set on securing his 4th title defense by proving his first win over Masvidal was no fluke. Usman, the 3-time NCAA All-American Division II wrestler, is currently on an incredible 17-fight win streak coming into this fight, and he hasn't lost since May of 2013. Usman is a powerful wrestler that uses his strikes to close the gap on his opponents, take them down to the ground, and work for his smothering finishes. But over time, he has developed into a solid stand-up fighter, which makes him even more dangerous, and I can't wait for these fighters to collide. Tonight's betting odds has Usman coming in at a -330 favorite and Masvidal comes in at a +250 underdog. Alright, here's how it went down. Masvidal came out early, kicking the inside leg of Usman several times. Usman early in round 1 landed a nice shot to the head of Masvidal that got his attention early. Masvidal went for a flying knee but missed, and Usman secured the first takedown of the fight, and both fighters landed their fair share of strikes on the ground. Masvidal did get back to his feet, and that was a good win for him. Usman at the end of round 1 was swinging wildly and looked a little reckless to end the round. Round 2 started and both fighters came out trading shots. Usman was faking a takedown and trying to bait Masvidal in, and Usman barely missed, landing a big right hand, just barely missing the mark. But Usman came back with a highlight reel right hand to the chin of Masvidal that crumbled him to the mat, followed by a barrage of hammer fists that put Masvidal out cold. Kamaru Usman defeats Jorge Masvidal by knockout at 1 minute and 2 seconds of round 2 to retain his welterweight championship and earns a $50,000 performance of the night bonus. Alright, here's my final thoughts. Tonight might have been one of the most bizarre nights of fighting with crazy injuries and wild knockouts leading up to the main event. There's a certain energy in the arena, and being backstage you have to wonder what each fighter is thinking. When these two fighters fought before, it was short notice and we all wanted to see what Masvidal would do with the full training camp and if the outcome would be different. Well, if we have any questions at all if this fight was a fluke, we have a definitive answer. Kamaru Usman has not only defeated his opponents, but he has done it so impressively, showing off his new striking game and showing the world he is not just a wrestler. He just keeps getting better and better, and sign me up every time he fights. Guys, we might be seeing one of the greatest welterweight fighters ever. Here's some quick stats on Usman. He is the UFC welterweight champion. He's the number 2 ranked men's pound-for-pound fighter. He has 9 wins by knockout, 1 via submission. He is on an incredible 18-fight win streak. He now holds wins over Colby Covington, Tyrone Woodley, Rafael dos Anjos, and now Jorge Masvidal. Okay, what's next for Usman? Colby Covington sits at the clear number 1 contender position. Gilbert Burns sits at the number 2 spot, but just lost to Usman, and Leon Edwards sits at the number 3 position and has a huge upcoming match with Nate Diaz. Usman did say he wanted to take some time off.
I mean, I've finished really my last 3 opponents. I finished them all. And so right now, it's just, I just need to, take some time and continue to train and get better. But these guys got to show me something, because right now I'm the champion. I'm the most active guy in the division. These guys can't just wait around and wait for me to, call their number.
But the first fight with Colby Covington was so close to the end and an incredible fight. So I say let's run that fight back, and the boss Dana White agreed that that is the fight to make.
He's one of the best ever, and he's on his way to probably being the greatest of all time. Kamaru Usman has cemented, his legacy as one of the greatest ever in that division.
If he calls you up next week from his home in Dallas and says, "Hey, I want a super fight," do you think he's done enough to earn it? Since I know he had
Colby Covington's next. Colby Covington deserves the next shot.
You ain't got nothing, Marty. You ain't got nothing. Don't go running. Don't go hiding.
Guys, let me know in the comments what you thought of the fight tonight, Usman's performance, and who he should fight next. Just want to give a big shout out to our loyal fans. We do appreciate the support. Don't forget to smash that like button. This is Jay Cat with MMA Weeklies, the Lowdown Breakdown. See you next time.